Queensland Senator and leader of the One Nation Party, Pauline Hanson, is no stranger to controversy. Having been thrown out of the Liberal Party at the beginning of her political career after being a member for just 1 year, and elected as an independent in 1996, where she shocked many around the country with her views on race and immigration, there aren't many in Australia who don't know her name.
We now have a situation where a type of reverse racism is applied to mainstream Australians by those who promote political correctness and those who control the various taxpayer-funded industries that flourish in our society, serving Aboriginals, multiculturalists, and a host of other minority groups.
And ever since her maiden speech in Parliament in 1996, where she blamed Asian and Aboriginal people for the country's unemployment rate, she has vigorously defended her conservative beliefs. So despite claims she is a racist and her party's fading power, how has Pauline Hanson managed to stay relevant in today's society?
Along with millions of Australians, I am fed up to the back teeth with the inequalities that are being promoted by the government and paid for by the taxpayer under the assumption that Aboriginals are the most disadvantaged people in Australia.
Hanson helped form the One Nation political party in 1997, where she developed a significant following from those who shared her right-wing beliefs. That same year, native title cases and Queensland's highest net migration growth of any Australian state gave Hanson's divisive beliefs a greater platform, with many feeding into the fear of a changing Australia that the party preached. According to party materials, it rallied against government immigration and multicultural policies which were leading to the Asianisation of Australia. While this message worked initially, the party peaked in 1998 with 8% of the Australian vote. It also sparked protests around the country. The outrage at Hanson's shamelessly regressive politics was summed up by former Prime Minister Keating. The great tragedy is that it perpetuates a myth, a fantasy, a lie.
Where's my land if it's not Australia?
England.
As the years went on, One Nation was never able to recapture its early success, and after being kicked out of her party and serving months in jail for electoral fraud in 2003, neither did Hanson.
This is a historic moment. By bringing this matter into the Parliament, my party is throwing open the debate on banning, or at the very least, greatly reducing migration of such people to Australia.
Returning to the now titled Pauline Hanson's One Nation over 10 years later, she won one seat in the Australian Senate for Queensland, where she has continued on a path of right-wing populism and political stunts. But despite controversies such as the infamous 2017 burqa in Parliament, Pauline's symbiotic relationship with her party and the country's continued fascination with the atypical politician, it doesn't seem that Hanson will go quietly anytime soon. And whether or not she remains in Parliament or is voted out again in the future, at least this time she has a namesake.
Please explain.